What's up? This is Ned. Just going to show you super basic blues in E and your basic blues progression. So they're kind of two standard. So you've got your standard form E7th, 12th fret. So it's basically a bar chord across here. And if you can't play a bar chord like this, don't worry about it. I'll show you something simplified in a minute. So it's basically 12, 14, 12, 13, 12, 12. So so a lot of us, when we learn the blues, this is how we start, is doing this as our 1. Our 4 is basically, again, it's 12, 14, 12, 12, 14, 12. And then to the 5, it's just the same thing. 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, and yeah, I need a fret job on this guitar. So anyways, so this is your basic thing that you'll learn off of most websites or whatever. So then there's a simplification you can do here, which is, or one that I prefer, is if you're going from here, you can go basically to an A9, which is 12. So we're on the A string, 12, 11th fret, 12th fret, 12th fret, 12th fret. So if you notice, I can play that A with just these 3 notes. Sounds okay. And I can play the E with just these 3 notes, right? So I can just use the lower 3 strings, or the 4. So what we're going to do is a simplified version. So in E, if we're on the 12th fret, all you got to do is bar these 3 or 4 strings. You can do 3, 4, 2. I usually do 3. So there's 12th fret E. So that's if you're playing up high, if somebody else is. So what we're going to teach you is how to fit in. So that's one option, is basically it's this chord form that's kind of your standard beginning blues chord form, but just chopped off. Because you can play this all day. Playing this, especially if you're not experienced, you're going to get tired. So we're all about just making it easy. So just, you do this form, and then you just kind of relax, let this finger go away. That guy, you don't worry about it. And all you're doing is this, and this right here. So that's really where you're at. And then for the, so that's for the 1. For the 4, it's just straight bar across there. For the 5, straight bar across here. These 3 strings. It's nice to put the tip of this finger. So if you look here, the tip of your finger is going to hit this string, so it stays muted. So your D string, the tip of the finger's on it. So I can, it doesn't make any noise when I pluck it. And then you mute the other 2 strings, your the large strings, your E and A, with the palm of your hand. So like that. Basically you're muting that, and even if you're playing like open strings, practice muting these strings so they're not ringing. So that'll be something you'll want to do, and what we're going to practice on. So anyway, so doing the 12 bar progression right here, it's just, and I'll play it fast just so you get used to it. So there it is. So now when we move up, so that is if with the root which is the base of the song, on the E. So now we move up to the root on the A string. So you've got the E up here, 7th fret. And so if I were going to play that 9 chord, that simplified chord I talked about, right, you're looking at basically it's straight across, except for 1 finger, 1 fret up. So we're talking 7, 6, 7, 7, 7 as far as fret. But, so we can play that. So this is the 1, then the 4 is up 2 frets and back, so it's the A. So that's your deal on that. So basically you can go, so again we use the short form chords, so just these 3 right here, bar across it. I use it with this, do it with this finger, so then I can, so just what I do is to make it easy, I'll start it out here. I'll go, so there's my E, my A, right, so it's this form, then back to the E, and then I go up, so another thing you can do to make it easier is basically go in here, use my 3rd finger on just those 3 strings, right, and then these 2 fingers here, just first finger, second over, these 2 guys are just hanging out in the wind. And if you want to make it easier on yourself when you go to the 5, you come down here and you go, because then you go and slide down. So again, so there are your 2 sets of chords simplified. Is basically you've got 12th fret, so you're going, 1 is the E, 12th fret on the E string, the 4 is the A, 12th fret on the A string, the 5 is the B, 14th fret. So that's your root. So with your basic bar chords, you're doing this. Fret job. Okay. That'll be better. So anyways, that's what you got here. And up here you go, whoop. When I say whoop, it's me getting off the screen. So there's your 1. Your 4 is the A. Your 5 is the B. These are all 7th chords. But we'll talk about theory a little bit. Don't worry about the theory. Just get your fingers in the right spot and play. So there's your 1, your 4, your 5. If you're just starting out, this one's easier just because you don't have to move as far. But with the simplified chords, you don't really have to move far either here, because you're just going. Alright, you watch, my hand hardly moves. Moves up to get to the 5 easier. Alright, so there's your E tutorial. If you got questions, send me an email, and we'll see you at class.